Dr. Robert Moog. Dr. Moog showed that one oscillator could produce many notes. Dr. Moog's principle was called voltage control. Each time the musician hit a key or altered one of the controls on the panel, he in effect transmitted a particular voltage across that part of the circuit that he was using. It was this voltage which controlled the output of the instrument, or the synthesizer, as it had now come to be called. Musicians who had been constrained in the past by the particular sound that a piano or a violin or a saxophone could produce found that with an instrument like this, they could produce the sound, the texture, the quality, the tone that up to now had only been in their heads. What do I mean by that? Well, listen, here's the note E. Here's exactly the same note. And still the same note. Why the differences? Oh, it's just something to do with the tone, you may say. But armed with this equipment, we can be a lot more specific. Let's go back to that first version of the note E. And look at the display on this screen. Now, this is a frequency analyzer. And here you can see that that sound of E is one single tone, one lone frequency. All sounds are waves. And the faster those waves fluctuate in the air, the higher the note that we can hear. So a low note, a sound, has slow fluctuations. A slightly higher note has faster fluctuations, and a really high note has exceedingly fast fluctuations. Look at that on the oscilloscope. Let's freeze 1 split second in time, and we can see that the waveform which produces the lone frequency is an even, rolling shape, which the engineers call a sine wave. Now let's move on to our second version of E. That one. And straight away, we can see a quite different shape on the oscilloscope screen. The same number of fluctuations in that split second, but a waveform with a totally different shape. That's called a square wave. And why is it different? Well, the answer lies on the frequency analyzer. Look. No longer one pure tone. There's the fundamental, certainly the main note, that's E, but all these other ones too. They're harmonics. And a square wave includes all the odd ones, the third, the fifth, the seventh, and the ninth, gradually dying away. And then there's our third version of the same note. There on the frequency analyzer, you can see that that one includes all the harmonics, even and odd. And over on the oscilloscope, yet another waveform. Same number of fluctuations again, but a different shape from either of the other two. And that one is called a sawtooth. Using Dr. Moog's voltage control techniques, it's now become relatively easy for the musician to get these different waveforms to interact with one another, producing combinations of harmonics and tones unknown in the world of natural music. But it's clear that anybody who plays an instrument like this and has to concentrate on both the keyboard and the control panel will very quickly run out of pairs of hands.